Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup.
We're gonna work on the variation that stays close to the floor because it's a bit easier, but feel free to take off the floor if you feel a bit more comfortable. Remember, a whip starts with the lunge and this motion here with the of the leg. And we want to time the hand placement right so that we don't stop, so that this doesn't happen. It's all about creating continuity with this back foot as we lunge. This foot here goes forward and sideways and only stops when it lands back on the floor. The transition is lunging, performing a backslide. We stop here with it. And again, as I said, today we will bring our bum down just because we're tired. So, lunge, 1, 2, bum down. If that's a bit foreign, go back to lunging and coming back up. I lunge, shoot, swap hands, knee down, bob down, and then I lead with my leg and my arm, a bum spin. So if I step with the right, left leg shoots, right hand down, right knee down, right bum cheek down, left leg, left arm to the left side, and push back up into a fisherman squat. You want to do that without any interruption. So lunge and 1.
Same people that I flex with be the ones that I'm in the gym with. I'm a living legend, you a dead cause, and I'm dead ass. No, I'm dead, right?
Now, once you have remembered the bum to the floor whip, we will try to transition from a backslide, which is just a lunge here, into a whisk. Now, the progressions of the backslide are going to be predicating how hard the combination becomes. Remember that the more you segregate the lower part of your body from the upper part of your body, which is what I call the dragon backslide, the harder it is. This here is easier than this. When my head is delayed, it's harder to find balance. It's a bit more advanced. Similarly, the more we spin, the more we pivot, and the harder it is. So a 180 backslide is obviously easier than a 360. I would advise, therefore, that you begin with a 180 backslide with no dissociation of the lower body from the upper body. What matters really is for us to create continuity between both movements so that the whip begins before the end of the backslide. So here we're gonna lunge and I'm gonna perform a 180-degree backslide. And from here, I stop, I find myself in my lunge, and I can go into my whip. I go 1, 2. I would invite you to not be too strict with the exact amount of pivoting. You just want to make it controlled and natural. So I'm not going to try to spin too much, but I let my foot finish its trajectory here, put my hand down and go. Your mission with time is to be able to not stop at the end of your backslide, to anchor yourselves and throw your whip. You want to be able to have this foot sliding all the way back into the whip. So it looks like this, backslide, whip. So again, at first we stop, we step, and we perform. We go small, anchor, and whip. And with time, we try to keep that back foot sliding, and we try to dissociate the upper body from the lower body more trying to flatten the curve here of your lunge rather than rounding the upper back, which is kind of a default. And then we perform the whip without stopping. Now we're gonna add one small element to the mix, which is gonna be very important for what's next. From a 90-90, I'm going to swing, flex the back hip, which is the upper hip, which is the hip of the air leg, forward. As if I was doing a front bum spin, yeah? I just do this. No need to spin on my bum. I just bring this foot closer to my face. And I'm gonna transfer the weight by pushing on this hand and this foot into the upper foot. Now what you want to do from here is extend the support leg. And then place both hands down. That's already a very sweet combo, and I would advise you to stop the video here and practice that bit first. We start in the 90-90 and we try to finish with the whip. It goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, and anchor, 4, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you accelerate, if you find yourself accelerating just before the whip, it's actually normal, and that's okay. You either want to have a steady pace here or accelerate. What you want to avoid is decelerating. That would be proving that you don't have quite mastered the weight transfer and the support placement we need to understand for that transition to be very flowy, very watery, very buttery. Now, this is not the actual sequence, but I want to stop there to give you already something, and that will be the first part of this tutorial. From what we have mastered, which is really the hard part of this sequence, we can perform a knee slide, follow the knee slide with a bum spin, which we have done before, and we know that we want to transition to flex the hips before it's too late at the end of the knee slide. And at the end of our bum spin, extend the upper leg into your back spin. And that's already a lovely sequence. It would look like this: step and slide, spin and up, around and here. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and spin and hand and down and around and spin. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and spin and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.